Hey guys, we are ready for another math lesson. And so I know you looked at Mr. Walker's examples. Then I put a little video in there about the associative and distributive property. Commutative was there too, but today's lesson, it's going to ask us, as you can see, to solve multiplication problems using the associative property and the distributive property. That's what Mr. Walker was doing in his video. He just didn't call it that. The associative property is when you group two numbers in parentheses, and distributive property is when you break down a number like 80 into 10 times 8. So it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. You're actually doing both things the way he showed you to solve them at the same time. So some of your problems today on your homework assignment is going to say use the associative property in place value disk, or just use the associative property or use the distributive property. We're just going to be working them all the same way. Now, if you'd like to draw the place value chart on your paper, it would be good to do it on the ones that say to use it. And then some of them say you don't have to, so you can just break down the number. We're going to be looking tomorrow at the area model and doing this. I think you'll like that as well. But we're just showing on a place value chart on this first problem here. I'm going to work one problem of each kind that you're going to have to do on your homework. So let's take a look at this first one. 30 times 24. Now, let's use that distributive property. Let's break apart that 30. And 30 is really 3 times 10. And then we're going to multiply times 24. Okay? So that 30, we just broke it down into 3 times 10. That's distributive. And now let's do the associative property. The associative property is when you decide what you're going to group together. And I think it's much easier to start with grouping together the 10 times the number. Okay? So 10 times 24. So what we're going to do first is over here on our place value chart, we're going to represent 24. And that would be 2 tens, 1, 2, and 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 24, but we're multiplying it times 10. That means we're shifting it to the left one place value. So these 2 tens, which is 20, right, become now 2 hundreds. Because what's 10 times 20? It's 200. And these 4 ones now become 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because what's 10 times 4? 40. All right, 10, 20, 30, 40. So we've done this part now. We've got this part checked off. Now we've got to do the 3 times that. So they're already written one time. We've got to write them 2 more times. So let's do 3 times these 4 here. So 2 times, 3 times. Okay, so there's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So let's see how many tens we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Uh-oh. That's a problem, isn't it? Because we can't have more than 12. We can't have more than 10. Really, we can't have more than 9 tens in any place, in any place value, or it needs to be shifted over. So what we need to do is take these 10 tens right here, and we're going to shift them over and give us one more 100, because 10 times 10 is 100, right? So we got rid of these. Now let's see what's left. How many ones do we have? We don't have any because we moved them over there. How many tens do we have? We have these 2. And how many hundreds do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's our answer? Our answer is 720. So 30 times 24 equals 720. Okay? What do you think about that? So when you use the place value chart, if you want to do it to do these multiplication problems, you just scoot them over like that. Let's do one more with the place value chart, just to make sure you got that, okay? So we'll do this one right here, 40 times 43. Because it can be a little bit confusing to use this place value chart and do this. You just got to remember how you group them is what makes it easier, I think. So let's draw our place value chart again. You can do this with me if you'd like on your own paper. It might help you when you have to do your homework by yourself. All right, so we've got our ones place, our tens place, and our hundreds place. All right, so let's break down this 40 first. That makes it easier. We're going to break down the 40 into 4 times 10. That's distributive property. And now we're going to do the 43. Okay? Now that associative property is putting two numbers in parentheses. We're going to do the 10 times 43 first. So let's represent this 43 on our place value chart. Okay? It's 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 ones. 1, 2, 3. Okay? But now remember we're doing 10 times 43, which means we shift them over one place value. So our 4 tens become 4 hundreds, and our 3 ones become 3 tens. Now we got rid of those. We've moved them over. So we did 10 times 43 represented on our place value chart. So that part's checked off, but now we've got to do 4 times that. So each one of these, we've got to do 4 times that many. So there's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Do 4 times this one. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. So let's count, see how many we have. There's none here, so we know that's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, we've got a problem then. We've got to shift them over. So we need to take 10 of these 12, and we need to shift them over because 10 tens, remember, makes another 100. So we got rid of them. We put them there and made an extra 100. So now we only have 2 tens left. Now let's see how many hundreds we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Well, we're going to have to take 10 of these and move them over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to take these tens, 10 hundreds, and move them over. We don't have a thousands place, but we will. We'll draw one real quick. Thousands. It's kind of a crooked box, isn't it? So we got rid of them. And how many hundreds do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundreds left. And we have 1 thousands. So that tells us 40 times 43 is 1,720 is our answer. Got that? All right, let's look at these kind of problems you'll have on your homework. So as I scroll on down here, I see the next part of your homework is going to say something like this. Use the associative property without place value disk to solve. Okay, well, let's do a problem like that. So this time we don't have to draw the place value. Well, I need a new sheet of paper here. There we go. And so without the place value chart, let's do this one. 40 times 34. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the associative property. Let's break down this 40 into 4 times 10 times 34. All right, now if we use the associative property, let's group that 10 times 34. Okay, if we're not going to do the place value charts, then we're just kind of multiplying, aren't we? Sorry, I didn't have that where you can see it really well. So 34 times 10. Do we really need to work that all out? Remember when we multiplied times 10, we just add a 0. 34 times 10 is 340. So 34 times 10, we've got this part checked off. So they got 340, but we can't forget we've still got times 4. So this goes back to that multiplying like we did a long time ago. It's way before fall break, wasn't it? Before we started division. So now we just do 4 times each place value. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. Put our 6 down. Carry our 1. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. So the answer is 1,360. 40 times 34 is 1,360. We just broke it apart, and then distributive property, then use the associative property to find the answer. Okay. Let's do one more like that just to make sure you've got, I know I said I was just going to do one example of each kind, but I feel like maybe we need a little extra coaching on this. 50 times 43. We're going to do this one the same way. Let's break that 50 down into 5 times 10 times 43. So let's do it the same way. 43 times 10. We add a 0 to the end of 43. It makes it 430. So we've got 430 times what? We've done the 43 times 10. Now we've got to multiply times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 3 is 15. We put our 5 down. Carry our 1 up here. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 1 is 21. So 50 times 43 is 2,150. Okay. The last things you're going to see on your homework is this. It says use the distributive property, which we are already doing. That's the good news. So look here. This is the same problem as this one. 40 times 34. It's the same problem. We broke apart the 4 times 10. We distribute it like that. So we don't really need to do it again. What's the other problem? 60 times 25. We'll do that one as an example. And then we'll be done with the examples and you can go do your assignment. 60 times 25. Really on your assignment today, as long as you get the right answer, you're going to be right. These are just some ways that can help you when you're multiplying, especially by a number. It's a multiple of 10, just to break it apart. Distributive property to help you find the answer. So 60 is 6 times 10 times 25. Okay. Let's do this the way we've been doing it. Now, let's do it different this time. Let's do the 6 times the 25 first. You want to do that? Let's just be different this time. 25 times 6, because it doesn't matter. If we were to write it out, it would be 6 times 25 times 10, like that. It's the same thing. So 6 times 5 is 30. We put our 0 down and carry our 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So 6 times 25 is 150, but now we got to multiply that times 10. Well, that's easy. We just add another 0 to it, don't we, when we multiply by 10? So that's going to be 1,500 is going to be our answer. Okay? So remember, just the main thing is use these, whichever one helps you the best. If you need to go back and draw those place value charts, then do it. If it helps you find the answer, do it. If it helps you just to break it apart and use the associative or distributive property, then do that. But work on getting those right answers for me, okay? And you'll be able to do this. And tomorrow, like I said, we'll work on the area model, another way that we can use to solve these longer multiplication problems. All right. Have fun working on it. And I know you'll do a good job. Talk to you later.